All right. What's up, everybody? What's up, guys? We're doing this late here Wednesday night, about 10:15. But we're here to do it. We're going to talk a little NFL, a little NBA, MLB. We'll touch on UFC a little bit. So here on the Fatboy Fade Away Podcast, we got Casey Breyer here again, Tyler McGurk, and of course, Darren Breyer here with you. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Just waiting for this podcast, man. We haven't done one since Father's Day, so we've been looking forward.
We got them all out on the YouTube now, though. That's at least a start for us, right?
At least it's a starting
point. It's a starting point. You gotta like that. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere for sure.
So if you're watching this, like and subscribe.
Yes, exactly. Tyler, you put them on Instagram yet?
I have not.
You have not. All right. So we have not.
I need to get editing down.
Yes, we have to. Hey, that would actually be very helpful. If anybody sent us any comments on free editing technique, that'd be great. All right, so we wanted to talk a little bit about getting to the NFL. I know a little bit. Big news with Newton going to the Patriots. What do you guys think about that move, Tyler? What do you guys think about it? Think it's going to be? Did it catch your attention? Were you surprised about it? Right. I kind of always felt like it was going to happen.
I feel like it's a brilliant move by the Patriots. I don't know if it's gonna result in I don't think it'll be that good, but I don't know how these bad teams don't pull the trigger and they just want to have these.
For the minimum.
No, $1 million if he doesn't work out.
Did you catch Richard Sherman's Twitter on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it basically makes sense because this is what he says. He says how many former league MVPs have had to sign for the minimum? Just ridiculous. A transcendent talent has less talented QBs are getting 15 to 16 million a year. Disgusting. I mean,
like Mike Glennon, Chase Daniels.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing though is he wasn't in a position of strength. He's coming off a year of injuries. He's kind of been hurt, it seems like, for the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me, though, because if you think about it, 31 for a quarterback is your prime years. I know he had 2 injury-plagued seasons, but I mean, would you rather take your chances? I mean, the Patriots are basically getting the best quarterback I felt on the market for nothing. I mean, would you rather have Jarrett Stidham, Brian Hoyer, or Cam Newton for the minimum? That's crazy.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. And the Patriots kind of get the best of both worlds. They kind of get the I mean, even if the Stidham guy actually didn't look that bad, I thought. I mean, I'm not saying he's a stud, but he didn't look horrible. So, if he sits another year, what's the big deal? Maybe he can just keep getting better and better and learning the system more and more. That seems to be what Belichick likes, anyways, right?
I mean, think about it though. I mean, Cam Newton's 31. He could play easily till he's 37, which is 6 more years.
And the Patriots are gonna have no bones about running him up the. They don't. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. They want him healthy for them, but they're gonna have any long time investment in him.
Okay, so here's my next question to you guys.
And most people forget, though, Josh McDaniels had another athletic quarterback, not quite that athletic, but he did play. He did have Tim Tebow in Denver, so he knows what to do with a mobile quarterback.
And those offenses suck.
And he didn't even get to use Tim Tebow.
Exactly.
Because he got fired.
Yeah, Jim Fox got to. Or John Fox.
So, but hold on, with Newton, what do you guys think about him? With the impact he's going to have on the league overall? Do you think that kind of swings it back to the Patriots as the favorites again? Because you got to say they weren't the favorite going into the year with Stidham as the quarterback.
I'm not putting them at the favorites. Their weapons suck.
So what do we? So what kind of offense do they run though? Do they go to the Lamar Jackson type thing?
I think they run the ball 40 times between Michelle, whoever they have, they'll use,
James
and
White.
Newton.
How many design runs does he get in a game? How many design runs does he get a game, Newton, you think? Lamar Jackson gets how many a game, you think? 15?
Where he can pull it and run?
15, probably. 15 to 20, right?
I'd say even more than that, where he has an option to do it.
Well, overall, his attempts are probably 15 to 20 right now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
No, not more than 20. But
so you think Newton will get to double digits, average 10 carries a game?
Right around there. Maybe a little less, but
I think he'll get 7.
Yeah, like 7 to 10. But they're still going to run the ball. Their defense is still going to be good. I don't think it's also.
Go ahead.
I don't think they're going to be like the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I still would say the Chiefs and the
Ravens.
Niners.
Well, I'm talking about AFC, but yeah, Niners. I'd put them there.
I'm kind of curious to see the team that I'm kind of wondering about is the Texans. I know everybody ripped on the fact that they don't have the receiver anymore, but that doesn't. And the NFL is just a weird sport. It doesn't always translate like how you would think it would, just because you lost a big guy, unless it's your quarterback.
I mean, you have Deshaun Watson, so you're going to be in every game.
And that's kind of my point. To me, he's like the third best quarterback in the AFC in some ways. So you put him there, maybe third or fourth.
I'd put him 2. I mean, among the young, I think he's better than Lamar Jackson. If I was going to draft a team, I'd take Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, because he can throw the ball 50. Because he's got to throw the ball 75 yards.
The only thing that sucks, bless you. The only thing that sucks, bless you, is Deshaun. He has had 2 ACL surgeries, so I mean that makes me a little skeptical. As young as he is, but I mean,
I don't give a crap about that. I just wanted to play well this next year. That's what I mean. Is that the football mentality though? I get what you're saying.
As a quarterback, I like what Tyler's saying. I think he's a way better pure passer than Lamar Jackson. But, I mean.
I was talking to Aragon about this a while back, and he was thinking that Lamar Jackson, the problem with Lamar Jackson is that he would get hurt too quickly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What do you get? Like, because he thinks he's going to run the ball so often. If he's going to run like that, like, there's no way he could actually sustain it because he's not the biggest of guys, too. So, you know what I mean? Do you think would that happen to him as well?
I can't think of one time he got hit hard. I'm sure he got hit hard, like probably like 8 times, like maybe 10 all year. It's not like he was taking.
Wouldn't you say it's not always the hits that hurt those guys?
Vic was getting blown up. Like every time he run out of bounds, it was like.
Lamar Jackson does have. He does have he has a good knack for sliding and like diving right before he can.
And the rules have changed so much, like since Michael Vick. Like you can't breathe on a quarterback almost without.
Remember in the old video games how they would like celebrate the intros with like people getting just blowed up.
Oh my god! Concussion after concussion.
They would never promote that again. Like that was like.
You guys remember
killed that guy?
Remember NFL Blitz? Like that game.
Yeah, they're probably not proud about that one anymore. But the other thing about the NFL, I wanted to.
I mean, at least they.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to touch on Newton? I mean, I think we all agree it's a good signing for the Patriots. Obviously, I think the other thing though is that even though Newton's getting the minimum, he obviously can make $7.5 million. We should point that out if it was bonuses and stuff like that. But it's not like I think it also is a really positive for him because he's going to the best coaching staff in the league probably. And he's playing for a team that has pedigree to it, and he's not going to a great division, so he has a chance to get paid anyways if he plays well. I feel like so. Yeah, maybe he should be paid better because of his track record, but like I just don't.
Not a lot though.
Yeah, I just don't like when like other factors are thrown in. Like sometimes it's as simple as like he just, I don't know. Like why is it like there's no starting spots available, and the Chargers were the only other team I was thinking could sign him, and they obviously chose not to.
Well, I mean, if you look at his numbers, I just jotted these down. I mean, 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, obviously MVP, and he's played 127 games. Injured the last 2, but I mean, whatever, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The only knock on him is his completion percentage, which is career 59.6. But I mean, you look at his total numbers. I mean, he's passed for over 29,000 yards, has 182 touchdown throws. And, I mean, his best year to me,
he was never
obviously.
surrounded by big weapons either.
Well, he had Steve Smith, Greg Olsen. But, I mean,
other than Steve Smith, I never would be jealous of any of their receivers.
But
like on the Raiders, I'd be like, I want that guy. You know what I mean? Steve Smith is the only guy I want.
But to your point, Darren, for the rushing yards, I mean, the lowest he's ever rushed in a season is 488 yards. The most is 741, and the most touchdowns.
That's probably his rookie year, huh?
Yeah, the most was 741 with 14 touchdowns rushing.
I mean, it's a good signing for them. They get a great deal with it. That's for sure.
He's one of the best, like, 3rd and 1 backs you could – or, like, weapons, I guess. You wouldn't call them. But
So Belichick, that son of a has done it again. He just does it. He waits and 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 waits, and there's always a deal on the market for him.
And don't you guys find it funny they announced it on the day that they got their suspension handed to them?
Their third-round draft pick and $1 million fine.
Yeah, ironic.
I guarantee they planned it that way.
Oh, they did.
And the NFL has no problem hiding it. I mean, they're not going to hide it for them, but
yeah, you haven't heard anything. You haven't heard anything about that. So, real quick before we move on to the NBA, just if I had to get your early NFC favorite, is it the Niners? NFC. Tyler, I'm assuming. NFC, real quick. Is it Niners? I know, but just real quick, NFC Niners. If you ever think Niners are the favorite, for me, they obviously should be the favorite.
I'd put them as the favorite, yeah.
And then for me, I feel like the Texans are the team I would pick right now to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC, just because. I just like the Watson effect, and I think Johnson's gonna have a bounce back year, and then I think he's done after this year though. I don't think he's gonna have any good years after this, but I can see David Johnson having one more bounce back year, and he was really good the year he was healthy. So if he is healthy, that would help him a lot because the Texans haven't had a good running back at all. But that's my big if. It was gonna be the Texans there. You guys want to throw out an AFC?
My prediction for the Super Bowl is Tampa Bay versus New England Patriots.
That'd be too classic.
Wouldn't even be mad at it.
That would be too classic. So NBA is getting close to starting. We're finally getting close, but I'm getting a little nervous now too with all these little spikes that people are gonna cancel the pop the bubble, I guess you say. Pop the bubble over there in Orlando. That would be pretty disappointing, obviously, if that was the case. I think the factors though that I am looking forward to though is just having live sports here in like 3 weeks is kind of, it's like, okay, that would be kind of nice to actually turn on a game and see something live. What's the biggest storyline that you have kind of thought through your mind that you're kind of looking forward to? Like, it could be an underrated one. It could be one that not very many people care about. Like for me, for example, I'm kind of, just because I think the area we live in and just because they're not getting much national respect and they're right there in the mix. I mean, they're like, they're the 3.5 out just like everybody else is the Sacramento Kings. And they kind of have an interesting twist with their roster because they add Marvin Bagley. You know what I mean? And like, he's a pretty good player. So, I'd be kind of curious. That's a pretty good, nice ad there. So let's see what happens there with 8 games. So they're kind of the storyline for me. What do you got?
Mine is I just want to see what type of jump Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown hit. Like if they have that run they had the year without Kyrie and like go to that superstar. I mean, Jaylen Brown's a little behind Jason Tatum, but I just want to see what type of jump, if there is one, or if we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Celtics. It's a big year it was going to be a big year for them, I thought, going into the playoffs and stuff. But I guess next year will be kind of the bigger year test for them when everything kind of gets back to normal a bit. Casey, you got a storyline there you want to touch on?
Yeah, to me, it's just the Houston Rockets. I don't know, Westbrook, Harden. They're going with the small ball lineup. Harden, from what I've looked at, he's lost seems like a considerable amount of weight. He looks super skinny now. I don't know. It's just they're always interesting.
That doesn't seem like it would benefit him.
I don't think so, but I know he does deal with asthma, so I know that's a big thing. No, I mean, that's a huge thing with COVID.
I just think of the movie of Rookie of the Year. Don't give me that asthma. Don't give me that.
I mean, that's huge right now because, especially in that bubble that they're in. Like, you lose James Harden, the Rockets are done, So
I wonder what would be more unrecognizable: Harden losing like 50 pounds, or him without the beard. Like, how would I not? How could I not recognize him? Which way would be easier to tell? If he shaved his beard, I don't think I would recognize him. You think you'd recognize him?
Yeah,
if he's not. If he's in a jersey,
yeah, but no, I'm just saying
his game's so recognizable.
No, I'm just saying if he's being interviewed.
Yeah,
his eye. It would take a second probably for you to see it. Like, it would take me a second anyways. I probably wouldn't even notice because I'm so used to seeing him in that beard. So long.
Just one little quick nugget is Nikola Jokic losing that weight.
Yeah, he has the coronavirus too, I guess too.
You like that?
I think another quick little storyline is to see the NBA, just professional basketball played without a crowd and see what.
That's what's going to be my next point too. Is no fans.
I've been watching Premier League soccer, and it seems like it's not that big of an effect to what I can tell.
But that's so much a slower sport than the NBA.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a little different.
The momentum of it will be different. And that's why I was talking to Case before we did this. That's why my favorite is the Clippers, just because I feel like Kawhi is so steady. Like he kind of plays like there's no crowd really anyways. So I feel like I kind of trust him in like a situation like, and obviously his team's loaded.
But could that hurt him?
That his team's stacked?
No, obviously that's not going to hurt. But that he's always steady.
I just feel like –
and now you don't have to listen to that crowd. Like some people might play more steady because there's not that.
I just feel like the Lakers were their biggest competition. And then like if they were to play the Lakers with a regular crowd, I mean, even if they were at Clippers painted court, it would still be a favored Lakers crowd would be my guess. So I just feel like taking the whole crowd out of it, you're just playing basketball on the court. There's no Avery Bradley. I don't know. I just feel like the Clippers would get the nod in my book. You guys going with LeBron?
Well, I mean, Dwight Howard's still on the fence about playing too. So, I mean, I don't know. It's hard, man. People keep dropping out. Like DeAndre Jordan dropped out for the Nets. I just saw
that helps them.
I forget the guy on the Rockets. He decided not to play too. So they just signed Mbamute. But, I mean, so people are opting out not to play. So, I mean, it's kind of a big deal right now. I mean, you just don't know who you're going to have on that start.
I was going to say – I didn't mention it because I thought it'd be stupid, but I'll say it just because it's funny. I was going to be like, the Kings also added Corey Brewer that I was thinking, yeah, that doesn't help him at all. So, I was like, that's a not bad.
You might hit a big three while missing 10 other good ones.
So, Case, you like the Lakers then? Is that what I heard?
No, I've told you guys from the beginning. I'm picking the Raptors.
The Raptors. Okay, Tyler, who do you got?
I'm betting my life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would take life.
Sure, we'll throw your life on the line.
I'm hoping the Celtics as like a favorite, but aren't the favorite. But I would
take that one right there. Yeah, that no fan thing, man. That's gonna be fun to watch. That'll be interesting when it comes down to the playoffs. I'm interested to see how that works.
I did hear today though that the NBA is thinking about tape delaying the games, not by a lot, but just so they can blur out the cursing.
The cursing, that's the best part. I would be so pissed.
Well, no, because they were saying, like, there's a lot of homophobic, like, saying the N-word types things, like, things that you, like, and these games are going to be played at, like, 1:30 in the afternoon. Like, you can't be like, hey, Billy, let's watch the game, and you just have all these slurs going, like, all the way around. Like, that's –
Put it on ESPN Ocho. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on. That would be the best part. That would be the best part, man. I want to hear that stuff. That's what I want to hear.
I get what the NBA has networks they have to please. I get it.
Oh, yes. I mean, we all get it. We all get it.
Pays their bills.
I know. We can't offend it. We can't offend anybody, but we can always offend everybody. It's a weird cycle, but it is what it is. So, but that would be kind of fun to hear all that stuff, though, for sure.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of NBA, speaking of kind of on the same thing, no crowd, baseball with no crowd, but apparently cutouts. The Giants and A's are apparently allowing fans of season tickets to get a cardboard cutout of their own, and then of their own face, and then apparently the A's are going to do something where if a foul ball hits your cardboard cutout, you get the ball. They'll send it to you. So. The NBA might want to adopt that. Tyler, what are you doing with your phone? You're making a ton of noise over
there. No, I'm not. I didn't do anything.
There's like this echo going on with your phone there. There it is. All right, that's better.
Oh, it's a fan.
Oh, gotcha. So what do you guys think also about no crowd, but I want to see, we got the 60-game schedule. Do you think there should be an award? Should there be MVPs given out? Should there be Rookie of the Year? Should there be anything for a 60-game schedule?
I do not think so.
Yes. Casey?
I think you have to if you're going to crown a World Series title.
And they'll probably give out a World Series MVP, right?
So if someone hits 420 in the regular season, that's the new mark?
No,
well, I don't think it. I think
That's
it's
not
kind of
what
like the.
I don't think you should put those as like historical marks, but I mean, you have to. So what if someone goes for a 60-game hit streak, breaks the all-time record? You're gonna
Well, hold on.
discount.
Let's stay on the MVP award thing though. Like, is that what we want? Like, do we want to have an award though for like, like to me, I'm kind of like on the fence about it because yes, it's kind of, but I feel like we're smart enough to just know it's like, okay, well, it's 2020, like,
What
the
if-
MVP, yeah, I guess I don't know. It feels like it's like whatever.
Like, what if Jason Kipnis hits 345 with 20 bombs?
Jason.
Then I go like this.
Oh, that's so funny you mentioned his name. That's
Typical.
hilarious.
He's
Because
a good
I
player.
literally just said that to Nick Flanagan the other day. I'm sitting there, I'm talking to him, and we're having the same argument, and I go, well, wouldn't that be hilarious if like a guy like a bum wins the MVP? He's like, oh, like who? I go like Jason Kipnis, and he goes, who the hell's that? That's so funny. You said it again.
But he's he's had good bumps. Like, he's not a terrible player, but he's not going to ever win an MVP.
Casey, who's the player I threw out?
Man, who the
Before
hell?
we got up, Frank Medicino, a player like that.
Medicino, yeah, that's
Yeah,
A player like Joe Panic, MVP.
Who was the second baseman in 14 when the Giants won the World Series?
Joe Panic.
Scudero. If he played 60 games like in that last for the Giants, that's
No,
MVP.
I know. Well, think about how many. Go ahead, Dave.
Cody Ross won one for you guys. In I forget what round that was, but
NLCS.
I mean, we've all done fantasy baseball. Tyler, I mean, you still do it now, but like, think about all the players that are like red hot for like 2 months.
That's why, like, I'm like, you.
Last year would have been legit. Last year would have been Corey Bellinger, so it would have been all right, or Cody Bellinger, but it would have been all right. But
God, what was the guy? What was God? I'm blanking. Everyone used to take him for the first week on the Dodgers. Remember, he'd hit like 10 home runs in the first week. Mark Grudzielanek.
Oh no, that was just against the Giants that 1 week.
Yeah,
it
it wasn't Grudzielanek.
It wasn't Grudzielanek though.
Some guy got 3 in the first game ever at AT&T.
It was like Kevin Abbott or some weird name like that.
No.
It was like Kevin. It was like I think it was.
We have to do a fact check.
Oh, you're talking about the Dodger. I know what Dodger guy you're talking about, the second baseman. Yeah, he kind of had that weird stance a little bit too.
He had like 11 home runs in like 3 games or 4 games.
Yeah, he had something crazy like that. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't know.
I don't remember him.
So, I mean, if you do it off like that for like a month, it's like, you're good.
The rookie of the year. I mean, that would be the pitchers will have such a disadvantage. There's no chance they win any of that stuff, unless they go like I guess like 10-0 or something crazy like that. Something off the charts.
The only award to me that shouldn't be, I don't know. That sounds hypocritical, but is Cy Young. I don't think you can have a Cy Young this year.
I mean, if you have an MVP, you got to have all the awards. That's why I'm looking at it. But
yeah,
I see you. I hear you. I mean, again, we're gonna probably look. Even if they get off the Cy Young, you're gonna be like, I mean, you know what I mean? You're gonna be like, yeah, but the guy played 60 games. The guy pitched like 12 games.
as you two guys play fantasy baseball all the time, I've faded out and don't play anymore. There's no reason to take a closer this year, correct?
No, it's still a category.
Well, I mean, I would think they're going to go to the bullpen even more now, especially with bigger rosters and just the games. That was the other thing I wanted to say real quick before we move on. I am pretty fired up for Major League Baseball though, because it is like Casey, we were saying, like you're taking a sport that's a marathon and you're literally turning it into a sprint. So the game is literally turning upside down in terms of the way we're going to be used to watching like regular season. Like it basically, if you were, what do most people say if you're like a casual fan? The games from August and September, they start to get better. Well, it's in August and September right now, and they're all division games and 20 interleague games. So it's like they're going to be all important games. So it's kind of I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm actually pretty pumped up for it. I don't know. I think it's going to be different to watch. It's going to be new.
Darren, we lost you visually right now. Nope.
Tyler, you mean? What do you think, though, Case?
I don't know. I think it'll be awesome. I mean, it'll just be – excuse me. It's going to be
60 games.
No, I know. It's crazy. I mean, because before you'd have like 3-game series, 4-game series against your rivals and stuff. But now, like you said, you play 20 division games.
I mean, you're still going to have those like games, those rival games. They'll still have like series and stuff like that, but it will just be quicker.
Like, there's not going to be like, let's go A's, let's go Giants. It's be silent. Like, they'll probably I'm sure they're going to do pump in noise, and do that like chants and stuff like
thunder stick noise.
Thunder stick. But I mean, like,
Reggie Sanders is getting beat in right field.
Tyler, what do you think? 60 games? I'm kind of fired up about it. What do you think?
Not from a fantasy baseball standpoint.
I mean, every game will be important, right?
I mean, not for the Giants. You're going to win 12 games.
Yeah, but the Giants are the type of team that is like, oh, you actually have a legit chance now. 162 games, whew, no chance at all. 60 games, there's a chance you could win 30 of those. You never know. You could get the wild. I mean, you get the wild card. That seems to be your guys' secret.
Well, we don't have any pitching.
Yeah,
I agree. How about Jonathan Quick?
Big Johnny.
If you can stack your 1, 2, 3 so they face your division like for almost every game, and you win like 2/3 of that, you're gonna win your division most likely.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still fired up for baseball. It's gonna be pretty cool to see. Hey, Tyler, you said you're before we get out of here, I wanted to talk slightly about Casey. I know you're more boxing, but Tyler, I know you're a little bit more on the UFC. But I was watching the Hooker Poirier fight. Did you guys catch any of that, Casey? You said you watched rounds 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, the most boring rounds of tournament. They were still entertaining, but the first two I heard were like
the first two were ridiculous. I don't know how any of them survived.
Yeah, so I wish I could comment on it. I didn't see the first 2 rounds. So highlights.
There was so much.
It was nonstop. There was action the whole time. Like one was like in the half circle, and then here they come at each other.
The Poirier guy kind of has the same boxing style as like Triple G in the sense that he's always moving forward at you.
That's quite the compliment.
Well, I meant like he's always kind of moving forward technique-wise. I'm not saying he's him. I'm just saying he's Triple G always moves
He'll take
forward.
a punch to deliver too.
Yeah, he just kind of keeps coming. He kind of keeps bringing the fight. He was not like looking to like get you on the ground or maneuver you. He's like, all right, let's just keep going. Just keep throwing punches. But they were throwing so many punches. I'm like, how are they not breaking their hands? And you know what I mean? Just like crazy. Like it was an intense fight. It's probably one of the better fights I've seen, to be honest with you.
Especially those first 2 rounds.
Especially the first time. And round 5 was pretty good too.
The whole thing was good. I'm not like I would.
They were so gassed though by the end of that. Like I think the guy at the end was just like laying there on him like.
Yeah, when Hooker looked like he was like dead after.
He's like, if you want to knock me out, you can. And Poirier's like, I just don't have any energy. I don't have any energy to hit you.
No steam behind him.
It was like just slapping him. Just slapping him. Like, no, that was a great fight. Though. I'm looking forward to the next pay-per-view. They got 2 championship belts on the line, and then they also got a pretty good third fight there with Aldo and Jan. So I don't know. I'm starting to get a little bit more into the UFC the more and more it's going on. Casey, you still can't get the UFC bug?
I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I've always grown up being a boxing fan. Yeah, it's kind of died out, but.
Would you say you grew up being a boxing fan or you grew up being a Rocky fan?
I'd say boxing and then went to Rocky. I always used to watch a lot of – well, me and Papa used to watch all the fights. He had HBO, like when it first was big. So
Showtime, the boxing and Showtime and boxing HBO, yeah.
I'd kick it with Papa. He'd eat his garden salad, wash it down with a big bottle of yellow Gatorade, and I'd just be kicking it there, watch it. Like, what am I going to tell the 67-year-old to change the channel? I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not going to happen. I appreciate boxing too. The problem I have with boxing, I think the reason I've got less interest is more just because it's not run very well, and it's just my whole life they just don't get the best fights at the best times, and so that's always been my problem with boxing.
Yeah,
for some reason.
I love UFC because they get the fights and they just do it
they pump them out, man.
Yeah, no, they pump them out. I always say
they got Wednesday's fights now.
I still feel like the UFC's slowing down in that, getting the best fight, best fight. I'd want to see Colby fight Usman before this Gilbert Burns guy.
Yeah.
There's still fights that they're not I don't know.
They're missing out on. They're missing it because some of their fighters want to get paid more, I think.
Yeah, that like Masvidal, Diaz, I'd rather see again, or Masvidal, McGregor, or
Yeah, I think McGregor will probably. I've heard will probably fight the winner of Khabib and what's it, Gaethje, right? Gaethje. I always
hopefully
mess
he fights Poirier before that.
No, I heard. I don't think that. I've heard that that's probably not how it's going to work.
I saw that he wasn't impressed on Twitter, but his Twitter annoys me now. It's always I retire or the guy sucks.
Yeah, I think McGregor's he's now at the point where he's kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit now more because he's kind of like too wishy-washy a little bit. So I'd still root for him when he fights and stuff. It's just, like the social media drama. It's like, I don't even, just get up, just fight. It's like, that's kind of how. Obviously you got to do the whole media thing to make money. I get all that. Yeah.
When he's like in a fight.
No, I mean like say you retire and all that stuff. Yeah. No, for sure.
It's like I told Darren, I'm kind of looking forward to the trilogy with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury.
Yeah, like that would be a good fight.
They said December 19th, and then the other one I really want to see is if they can get it together is Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. I think that would just be epic.
That's a good fight.
Teofimo, he's out of Mayweather.
What's that, T?
Teofimo fights out of the Mayweather camp, right?
He's from LA. He's trained from his dad. His dad's the trainer.
I think he fights. I think he's signed under Mayweather Productions.
I think you're right. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you're right. I could be wrong though.
Because I saw something where he was trying to punk Ryan Garcia and at some other person's fight, and they were both there. I don't know. It's really weird. I was like, this guy seems very.
The Fury.
He's a good fighter, so.
He's undefeated, so.
And Lomachenko's a little smaller than him, so.
Isn't he undefeated too?
No, Lomachenko lost his first professional fight, I think.
Okay. The Wilder Fury fight will be kind of an interesting one because I feel like Fury pretty much dominated him the last one. So but Wilder.
He dominated the first two. He just got rocked the first one a couple times.
Fury
knocked the hell out. He rose. He was like the Undertaker.
He rose from the dead.
Yeah, I just feel like that was. I mean, it was such a dominant. It was such a dominant last performance. I'm not sure if a third match is necessary, but I don't think if there's a better heavyweight fight out there right now.
I want to see Anthony Joshua, who lost the big fat Mexican guy. Yeah, but then he beat Ruiz handily, boring but handily, and then I want to see him and Fury fight.
No, that'd be a good
fight
for sure.
They're both British. They're both from the United Kingdom.
Yeah, no, there's some good fights out there, and the thing I like about the UFC fights too, and the thing I like about boxing too is there's no commercials really. I mean, they're very short. It just you go with the
there's
no
commercial. Start.
Huh?
There's no commercial.
Well, they do there's what they do a 30
unless you're watching
maybe.
ESPN production.
Yeah, they'll do a 30-second cutaway or something like that. Pay-per-view, you're right. No, there's no commercials or something
even
like that.
In both of the sports, they just do a minute because there's only
a minute to wait.
Rounds.
Yeah, so that part's always kind of nice, and it's kind of fun to see some of I'm with you, Case. There is something there that's kind of cool to see about boxing too. Once why you just want to see more action. This is the hugging in boxing where it gets kind of annoying and that kind of stuff when the fights there.
Yeah,
so. That's where styles make a fight.
Complain about the UFC and the hugging and laying on top of each other.
That's what I hate. I like boxing because I'm like, you have to stand.
I remember when Casey came over for the McGregor-Khabib fight. The first round, he was like, this is what it is. This is what we're going to watch. Like, Khabib's boring if he would. We were hoping he would win.
Worst fight I ever paid for, or didn't even pay for, I should say. It was thank God your mom bought Papa Murphy's. Was the highlight of the night.
That was a bad fight, huh? It wasn't a good fight. The best part was the end of the fight. Yes, that was worth the money. That part.
I'd rather have watched him fight.
Yeah, it was pretty. There was only one round where they actually kind of stood up and actually fought each other a little bit in that one. All right, well, I think that's all we got, guys. You guys got anything else? Anything else we need to add? I forget anything? We good? Are we good?
Let's get ready for this NBA draft. Fired up.
Yeah, we're gonna do the 2001 NBA draft here. Pretty deep draft here, but we're doing that one. And then our next podcast we're gonna be doing. We haven't done a rewatchable in a while, and so we're gonna rewatch the 90. I want to say 94, right? Case 94 first round. Phoenix Suns at Golden State Warriors, Game 3.
Yes,
The famous Barkley game.
Was Richmond gone by then?
Yeah, Richmond was gone by then. Yeah.
Warriors had the big three: Mullen, Weber, and Sprewell.
Yeah, I think Richmond was traded after 91. So yeah, they were there. Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, they had Hardaway.
Billy Owens, and then we traded Billy Owens for Ronnie Cycli.
Billy Owens was on that team.
Yeah, the Billy Owens is on that team, and they got somebody else too. Chris Webber, obviously.
Chris Gatling.
Yeah, Chris Gatling.
Not the Ninja Turtle with the headband.
Can't forget the lefty. I'm looking forward to a high-scoring game. So, all right, guys, we'll see you at the NBA draft. Peace.
Later.
Later.